You're listening to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. Each week, I'm going to be interviewing top realtors from coast to coast to give you a backstage pass on how they've created their amazing real estate empires and how you can copy them. Hi, this is real estate coach Craig Proctor, and welcome to the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. My special guest today is Lee Gariepy from Naples, Florida, and his awesome team. Lee, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great today, Craig. Just want to introduce real quick. This is Ori behind me. She is my Ori. ISA. And then this is Kat, my assistant. She's the one that works everything behind the scenes for us.
Okay, so we've got Lee Gariepy, the rainmaker. We've got Ori, inside sales agent, and we've got Kat, the head administrator. So, hey, thanks everybody for being with us here today. Lee, you've got such an incredible story. You're a super cool guy, and I'm glad that we could interview you here today. Lee owns Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty in Naples, Florida. Lee, let's start off with how did you find me? And we've been together for what, like 6 years now?
Yeah, about 6 years. So it was a really interesting story. I first got into real estate about 7 or 8 years ago. And when I first got in, because I had another business, I didn't want to tell anybody I was a real estate agent because I felt that they would not want to keep my other business relationships. So I didn't tell anybody for a while. I joined a great brokerage down here, MVP Realty, and the broker there actually told me, with your background and your business background and everything, you need to go to Craig Proctor training to really learn how to do a real estate business.
That's one smart broker. So you were truly a secret agent in the beginning, right? You were like, most agents want to tell everyone in the world they're an agent. You were keeping it under wraps because you had your other thing going on.
Right, exactly. Yeah, so I was an accountant at a CPA practice, and basically what I did is I didn't want anyone to know. I was so afraid that the realtors that I had would be my competitors, and they would drop me as their client.
Ah, okay. So, all right. So you take the plunge into real estate. You started MVP Realty in Naples. The broker says you got to go see Craig Proctor. Then what happens?
Correct. So basically, I started going to the meetings. I joined the coaching program first. Very interested in how they just generated leads. I mean, everybody has the same problem when they first become a real estate agent. How do you generate a lead? Well, let me tell you, in short order, I could get thousands of leads. Almost didn't know what to do with them at that point. So.
That's awesome. So it started with massive lead generation. We introduced you to, what is the secret to generating high quality buyers and sellers. And in the beginning, like all realtors, you start to do this by yourself, right? You're trying the best you can to catch, to follow up with all the leads. And how did that work?
Correct. Well, it didn't work too well. I fell on my face a lot because I just couldn't get to them all. Right. So that's when I realized I needed help. And once again, that's when you go to the Craig Proctor system and they teach you what you need to do next, which is hire and recruit in agents.
Yeah, one of the misconceptions people have is, well, Craig Proctor just teaches you lead generation. We do. I mean, I think what we teach is really like the king of real estate lead generation. But we also teach you how to reach the leads, what to do, what to say. There's a very intensive follow-up system, because generating leads without understanding how to reach them or how to qualify the leads or compel the best ones to want to meet with you, of course, would be a big waste of time. But then there's the presentation systems, and you really delve into that. And then you got to this point where you were so successful as a solo agent, you said, I need more people. I need a team. So that's the next system we help realtors with. First there's lead generation, then there's conversion, and then there's how the heck do I follow up with all this business? And I've got all these listings and buyers. We show you how to build the team. We show you how to recruit, hire, train, and manage. So I'm glad you brought your team. Okay, so Ori is inside sales agent. So that means when the leads come in, the leads don't go to your outside sales agents. They go over to Ori, and Ori calls the leads, uses our scripts, determines the motivation and timing of the prospect. And if the buyer or seller is really motivated and they want to do something now, an appointment would be booked for one of your outside sales agents.
Correct. Exactly how it works.
Yeah. Now, the reason we don't give the leads to the outside sales agents, by the way, is because we've all tried that. That's the first idea I had, Lee, back in the day is, I'm going to hire some licensed agents. I'll just give the leads to the outside sales agents. But I quickly discovered the outside sales agents want appointments, not leads. I had one lady that worked for me. She was so good on the phone that if I gave her 10 appointments, she called 2 or 3 of them and boom, she'd be out the door listing a house and the other 7 or 8 appointments that I gave her would never get called. So yeah, the inside sales department is very, very important. And by the way, if you're a realtor in South Florida, you want to pay attention to this. Okay, this is the model. We are laying out the model. Our topic today is how to leverage yourself and hire a high caliber team, how to recruit and hire and train up and surround yourself with awesome people. So that's why Lee's brought awesome people here to our interview here today. Now, Kat is over in the administrative department. So Kat, you keep all these realtors and you keep this office organized so that the realtors, the outside sales agents, they're not messing around with paperwork or details. You're trying to take as much of that off the table for them. So look, it's a pretty sweet deal. If you're an outside sales agent at Lee's team, you're literally just going from appointments to appointments to appointments. Lee pays for all the marketing. Okay, he's been a Craig Proctor, student. He really mastered this over the last 6 years. He understands the messaging. He pays for the ads. Appointments come in, or leads come in rather. Ori in inside sales calls the lead, sets up appointments. So if you're an outside sales agent, you're literally just going from listing appointment to listing appointment. Lee, you even coach them up on how the listing presentation should work. You give them the listing presentation. You coach them up on what to do, what to say, how to handle objections. And when they get the listing, they just bring it in and Kat takes care of all the paperwork.
That's correct. So the presentations, obviously, we got from your system. We tweak them to, fit into the market here, obviously. Ori, believe it or not, can also do the presentations and train and help the OSAs with it. She's really good at it. So a little background on Ori. She started as an assistant for me, and we transferred over to the ISA. She got licensed, went over to the ISA. She did a little OSA. She realized that wasn't for her. She fits in the ISA position great. She calls hundreds of people a day, and she makes hundreds of appointments a week. Well, not hundreds, but dozens of appointments a week.
Let's talk about that ISA position for a minute. Okay, so Ori, probably what you liked about the inside sales position is the fact that you work set hours, right? You make a salary plus commission. I had an inside sales agent. Her name was Carol on my team. And Carol was a successful agent. She was making over $100,000 a year. But the reason she was attracted to moving from an OSA to an ISA is she just didn't like all the weird hours in real estate. She told me one time that she goes, I was having a dinner party and I had a bunch of people coming over, when I was in regular real estate, and an offer came in and I had to blow off my dinner party and I got tired of that lifestyle. She goes, I love being an inside sales agent for you, Craig, because I know when I'm working and I know when I'm not working, right? And I know even if I don't have a great week, I'm still getting a guaranteed salary. Plus I've got the upside potential with the commission part of it. So an ISA position, by the way, it's the hardest position to recruit for, is to get a really great ISA. And when you get one, you're going to want to get 2 and 3 and more of them. Let's go over to the outside sales agents. How do you find them, Lee? Like, how do you find good people? Because you don't just hire anybody. Because you've got a bit of leverage in your marketplace. You've got the leads, you've got the appointments. You've really truly got what agents want. So how do you recruit agents? How do they know about this awesome opportunity on your team?
Well, obviously we do all the regular stuff like everybody else. Go on Indeed, go on Facebook, Twitter, whatever we can. I have a girl in my office that actually will help run some of those ads. Most of the ads that people call in or email in, they go to Kat. She sorts through them for me. But the idea is to get out to as many realtors out in Southwest Florida as we can out here. I mean, with over 17,000 realtors out here, and with 5 years from now, 80% of those might not be realtors anymore. If they come on our team, we can almost guarantee their success over the next 5 years, that they become successful and be in the field still.
And I know a lot, like when I was growing my team and I would approach some realtors and they would say, well, gee, Craig, I don't know whether I want to join your team because I feel like I'm going to, quote, lose my independence. And I would have a conversation and say, look, you're actually going to be more independent and have more free time when you're part of my team. So when I was approaching realtors I wanted to recruit, I remember one guy I was talking to, and he was doing okay. He worked at Remax. He was making $100,000 a year. But he told me he just got divorced, and he's working all the time. And so I drilled down with that, and I said, okay, you're making 100 grand. So he's kind of thinking, well, I don't need to join Craig's team. But when I started asking questions about, like, what do you spend to make the 100 grand? He was spending about $40,000 to make the 100 grand. So the conversation's different now. I'm saying, okay, well, your marriage fell apart. You're working 70 hours a week. You're really only making $60,000, and you're doing a whole bunch of things that you shouldn't be doing, right? Because it was only him. He was on call 7 days a week. He can't take vacations. So I would always start off by, why don't we just have a conversation, or why don't we have a meeting? And if you're in Southwest Florida right now and you're watching this, you should do this. You shouldn't eliminate, like, you don't lose your independence or anything like that when you work with Lee. You actually would make more money and have more free time. And this is the conversation I had with this gentleman. I said, he told me about all the stuff he does all day long. Like, he's got to spend money on the ads, and he's got to follow up the leads, and he's running around doing the paperwork, right? He's at Home Depot getting the keys cut. It's only him, right? He's taking the pictures. He's hammering the sign on the lawn, everything that needed to be done. I said, if you join my team, or if you join Lee's team, you wouldn't be doing that. All of that is done for you. In fact, Lee, you and I were having a conversation before we got started. And I thought, if agents in Naples and Southwest Florida really understood the math, and they really thought about, well, why did I get into real estate? The reason we get into real estate is to make as much money as we can, but also have time, right? We want freedom. Really, we get into real estate because we want freedom. And to have freedom, you have to have both the money and the time. Okay, so most agents don't get any, right? They don't get the money they want, and they don't get the time. And then some agents, a few of them, become successful as solo agents. So they got the money is there, but they lose all the time, right? Like, this guy's divorced, right? Doesn't see his kids, can't go to the gym, has no hobbies. So that, we call that the success trap, right? If you're a realtor watching this right now, you might be thinking, well, that's me. I'm pretty successful. I make a couple $100 grand a year, but I'm working 7 days a week. I don't get to see, my family as much. I don't get to do it. This is about having your cake and eat it too. So you could do what Lee has done, and you could join up with Craig Proctor, and we can teach you how to do this. But if you're in Southwest Florida, there's no need for that. Just give Lee a call. He will show you how this works. So Lee, we're having this conversation before we got started. I said, okay, let's say the commission's 20 grand. So here's how this deal would work. Lee's been with me for 6 years. He spent all this money on time, 6 years. I'm coaching him up to be a master at lead generation and be a master at being the rainmaker and the team leader. So the leads come in, and now Ori in inside sales is going to call the leads. Okay. Now, Ori, pretend you're an outside sales agent working on Lee's team. Ori is going to set up an appointment. Now, you might be saying, well, I'm not available on Thursdays. That would be fine. If you were working on Lee's team, you would go into the CRM, okay, into your day timer, and you would tell us when you're available. Okay, so if you're not available Thursday afternoons, you're not going to get it. The more available you are, the more appointments that Ori in inside sales is going to give you. Now, when you show up at that listing appointment, Ori has already qualified them. She's not running you around, sending you out on wasted time appointments. She has asked all the questions because we've coached her up on how to do it. You literally show up with Lee Gariepy's listing presentation, which is mine, okay? And Lee is spending all this time coaching and training you. Now, does your broker do that? No, your broker doesn't do that. Lee has a vested interest in coaching you up on the listing presentation, so you're awesome, because the more money you make, the more money Lee makes. So let's say you go out on this listing appointment and you get the listing and it sells, and it's a $20,000 commission check. Okay, so there's a split with Lee, but let's say you make 10 of the 20. How many hours you got into this? Like, honestly, you got maybe 3 or 4 hours into this. So if you're making 10 and you got to put 3 or 4 hours into it, you're making $2,500 an hour, and that's net in your pocket. You're not spending any money on advertising and marketing. So how would that time work? Lee generates the leads. The lead goes over to Ori. Ori books the appointment. You go out, you list the house sells, $20,000 comes into the office, you get 10 grand of it. You've got to spend an hour listing the house, right? Let's give it an hour, because you're going to take Lee's proven listing presentation. You got 1 hour into it, listing the house. You got an hour to present the offer. And then maybe you got an hour or two between once the offer is accepted to closing, doing a couple other things. Maybe it's 3 hours. At max, you got 4 hours into this. You're making $2,500 an hour and you have no risk here. You're not paying for the marketing. You're not paying for the advertising. You're no longer running around doing all the administrative stuff. Kat, that's where you come in. Kat's job is to take everything off of you as far as administrative stuff. We do not want you doing administrative stuff. So that's why Kat's admin team is going to take all of that off, because Lee wants you face-to-face with people that want to buy and sell all day long. You want freedom? That's how you get freedom. Now, if you're in Southwest Florida, again, you should be reaching out to Lee just to have a conversation, right? So many of you are like, well, I don't want to lose my independence, or, I don't know how that's going to work, or that probably won't work for me. It costs nothing to have a phone call with Lee. Now, if you're outside of Naples, Florida, and you want to do what Lee's doing, you should reach out to me and I'll show you how to do what Lee's doing. I'll show you how we coach Lee up to do this. Now, by the way, if you want to book a call with me, you go to proctorcall.com. So just my name, proctorcall.com. We'll drop that in the comments below. And if realtors in Southwest Florida want to reach out to you, just have a conversation. Doesn't cost anything. Lee's not going to try to talk you into anything. He'll just explain how this would work for you. What would be the best way for realtors to reach out and get a hold of you?
They can call the number 239-272-0030 directly, and we'll have a quick conversation with them. So it'll be nice.
Cool. Let's go over to your team now. Let's start with Ori. Ori, and we'll go to Kat. Why do you like working for this guy? Why not just go out and do your own independent thing? Be careful. He's watching, and this is being recorded. But let us know what attracted you to this, Ori, and being an inside sales agent.
Well, I like, rather than having to do all of the processes, the steps, the setup, I have a specific role, and I know what my role is. I'm not going to come in tomorrow and become an OSA. I'm not going to come in tomorrow and become something else. I know my role. It is a 9 to 5, which I love. We also have somebody calling on the weekends, which is nice. So that way they catch all the traffic that comes in on Friday, after work, Saturday and Sunday, when most people are at home looking, scrolling in, doing their thing online. Besides that, I really like the fact that I'm saving time by knowing your script by heart. I qualify everybody. I'm not going to go out and show something if I know you're committed to your realtor. There's specific questions that we ask in the script that just save so much time in the long run. We're not running around with somebody that's got a lease for a year. Even if it's 6 months, it's too long. We'll make a follow-up.
The beauty is you've got that luxury of choice of who to work with and who you don't want to work with, because Lee is making it rain. Lee, as the rainmaker, has so many leads coming in that your office can literally, over the phone, qualify the buyers and sellers and decide who they're going to work with, right? You can say, I'm going to pick this one, and this one, and we're not going to work with these other ones. I like the fact that your job is 9 to 5. Like that's cool. So think about this. If you're watching this right now, and maybe you're thinking, hey, you know what? Maybe I should be an inside sales agent for Ori's team, or if you're not in Southwest Florida, this inside sales position is attractive because Ori's like, you know what? I've done regular real estate. I've been out at 10 o'clock at night doing the offers 7 days a week. Ori's saying, what I like about this is I have set hours. I know when I'm working. I know when I'm not working. I have a guaranteed salary. I show up every day, Monday to Friday. I like what I do, which is talking to prospects, qualifying them, and booking the best ones for our outside sales team. Let's go over to Kat. Kat, why do you work for this guy? What do you like about this deal?
I like that we're kind of like a family. It's all very close. We've been working together for a while now. It also does help having the correct Proctor system behind him. I'm not licensed yet myself, but.
Cool. What kind of things do you work Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 as well?
Uh-oh.
What hours, are you full-time, part-time? What hours are you working there?
So Craig, we're having a little problem with the audio right now. We're
Okay.
hearing what you just said.
Okay. Let's switch gears to our super conference that's coming up. Okay. Our conference is coming up in Anaheim. You attend them all, Lee. Talk about why you come to the conference and What advantages,
So-
like, why do you keep coming back over and over again?
All right, so I come to the conferences because I learned quite a bit from going to them. We go to the conferences because that's where we learn the latest and greatest things that are in the Proctor system. With all the coaches and all the experience that you have in the system, with all the coaches that are there, from Rudy to everybody else all over. So there's so many of them that come out. They have the experience, and they're multi-million-dollar agents. You're hanging out with the most experienced people that are in the industry from all over the country to get you a pulse of what's going on. There's nothing better. In the coaching and the training that you get at the conferences is number one. They teach you how to have a business and not just be a realtor.
Yeah, we go from early in the morning till late at night for 3 days. Are you hearing me okay now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it's the end of April. We'll drop a link into the comments below for those of you that are interested in registering for the Craig Proctor Super Conference. It's going to be in Anaheim, California. It's at the end of April. We'll probably have like 1,000 realtors there. Now, you don't have to be a Craig Proctor member to join us. So, if you want to just investigate Craig Proctor, see what it's all about, but there will be hundreds and hundreds of successful Craig Proctor members like Lee, who's been with us for 6 years. In fact, Lee, what's cool about this is you get to meet people that have been with Craig Proctor for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. And some of the best learning, comes not only inside the classroom, where the sessions are not just being taught by myself and Todd, but they're being taught by super successful Craig Proctor members. So we might have one of our members talking about, how they're really doing a great job with LinkedIn, right? Or Facebook or YouTube. So you get to hear directly from realtors that are making millions of dollars doing the thing that they're talking about. And that's what really makes this different. There's so many coaching organizations where the coach themselves has not really been successful as a realtor. Everyone you're going to be hearing from has successfully made hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars selling real estate. So yeah, we do hope everyone can make it. It is April. We're doing another one in Orlando, Florida in July, which will be closer for you, Lee. But attend our conferences and make sure that you reach out to Lee, even if it's just like, hey, you want to verify his story, you want to check him out. But there's no downside to having a conversation. Again, if you're in Southwest Florida, it's a no-brainer. Just like call Lee, he'll tell you like how this whole deal works. And if you don't think it's a good fit for you, then just keep doing what you're doing. But you really would be cheating yourself not to have a conversation about this opportunity of really partnering up with Lee and having your own business inside Lee's business. I mean, that's basically, how this works is we want to help you have more freedom, which means more money and more time for you inside of real estate. So Lee, are there any other things that you want to add before we wrap this up? Any final remarks?
Like you were saying, contact me if you're interested in the Craig Proctor program. And even if you want to get in the program yourself and become a coach down the road or join Craig Proctor down the road, I can give you more guidance and expectations on that also, and how to join the Craig Proctor system too. So you can either come to me, work with me directly, or I can give you guidance on how to join Craig Proctor himself and do what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'd really like that. That's awesome. So Ori and Kat, is there anything that you would like to add as final remarks before we wrap it up?
I would actually like to personally thank you, because your program is always evolving, specifically with the market change and everything that's going on. You guys are always coming up with techniques to better what you guys are teaching and have laid a foundation on. So I really like to thank you for everything that you guys do for us.
Thank you.
And that, Craig, just to add to that, that's one thing that you have over all the other coaches out there. You're always on the cutting edge. You always are looking to what's going to happen in the future. Most other programs, and I've looked into all of them, they concentrate on only two things: lead generation and accountability. They don't look at what's going to happen in the future of the business. They don't see where it's going. They're reactive instead of proactive like you are.
Well, thank you very much for that. Look, it's been a great interview. Let's go over to Kat. Kat, thanks for being with us as well. Any final remarks before we wrap it up today?
I'm grateful for your program as well, because like I was going to say earlier, I'm not licensed yet, but it's kind of helped me guide me through the whole real estate process and everything else, helping me be behind the scenes.
So Craig, she's been doing the Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty training program.
Oh, cool.
And probably prior to that, she didn't have as much interest into becoming a realtor, but now she's seriously thinking about it. So I would expect her by the end of the summer to be an outstanding OSA. And so we're going to have an administration opening when that happens. So we may need a new administrator.
Great. Well, we'll be watching for you and cheering you on.
Thank you.
Well, I'm really glad that you brought some of your team members with you, Lee. Lee's a super personable guy. I can see why he attracts such highly talented people. It's a great opportunity. Again, if you're in Southwest Florida, it's a no-brainer. Just give Lee a call. Or you know what? If you really want to know what an organization's like, talk to Ori and talk to Kat and say, hey, what's it really like there? Is this the real deal? Is it really, is this really work the way it's described? And it does. And that's why he attracts great people and he keeps good people. And if you're outside of Southwest Florida, you can do this. You can do exactly what Lee did. I mean, it's amazing. In the beginning, he kept his real estate career as a secret because he was a CPA. He didn't want to know it. He didn't want his realtor clients to know he was a real estate agent, or he thought they might drop him. But now he's one of the top agents in Naples, Florida. This can happen for all of you. There is not much real good training when you get your real estate license. What generally happens is we get into real estate and we look around at what everyone else is doing, assuming it's the thing to do, right? So, what is that? Cold calling, door knocking, sitting in open houses, doing floor time, chasing FSBOs, chasing expired listings, buying scraped leads from Zillow. We do what we're told. So if you're struggling in real estate right now, it's not your fault. I mean, that's a mistake I made. That's a mistake Lee made. That's the natural thing that happens when we get into real estate. But think about this. Everything you want to do in real estate has already been done by me and thousands of other Craig Proctor realtors before you. So if you're a good copier, all you have to do is show up at one of our conferences, or even just start off with a conversation. Book a call with me. It's proctorcall.com. How this would work, it's a free call. You go proctorcall.com. You'll go to my day timer. You pick a day and a time that works for you. And we would have a conversation about, well, where are you in your business now? And where do you want to go? And now here's the thing about it. If you know where you are in your business and you know where you want to go, why are you not already there? Why are you not already doing the thing that you want to do? And the answer obviously is because you don't know how to do it. So you can either spend years trying to figure it out, or you can get a guide or a coach like me to help you massively shorten your learning curve, to help you get to where you want to be a lot faster. The analogy would be, imagine Lee and Ori and Kat, if we decided next week we wanted to climb to the top of Mount Everest, right? Now, I guess the four of us could do it by ourselves. We'd probably die halfway up the mountain because we wouldn't know what we were doing, right? Hundreds of people have died trying to get to the top of Mount Everest. We wouldn't do that though, right? We would have a tour guide and we would hire like a guide to help us climb the mountain, because the guide's been up that mountain hundreds of times and the guide would tell us exactly, where to go up and how to do it. Right. So the guide would make sure that we shortcut our success and we could climb to the top of Mount Everest. Everyone would agree that that makes sense. Ori and Kat, I don't know if you guys are into tennis or golf, but if you want to be a better golfer, you could hack around and figure out how to do it yourself, but you probably want to get a golf coach. Now, you wouldn't hire a golf coach that's never played golf. And that's the crazy thing in real estate. Lee, we see all these coaches that never did get rich selling real estate, giving agents advice on how to do the thing, how to get rich when the coach themselves never got rich selling real estate. A lot of these coaches got rich selling coaching. A lot of these coaches got rich selling their seminars, but they weren't, they weren't selling 10,000 homes. So you've got to find a mentor, and who that mentor is really important. Now, that mentor may not be Craig Proctor, but you should find someone that's been there before, that's climbed Mount Everest, who can help you massively shorten your learning curve. And that's where I want to really leave it today. Lee's climbed the mountain, and he's bringing a lot of good people to him to the top of the mountain. He's making his life better. He's making their life better. And they're serving thousands of buyers and sellers in Southwest Florida. Any one of you can do this, okay? But it starts with a phone call, okay? Book yourself a call with Lee or myself. Let's have a conversation. Don't say no to this. Don't turn your back. Investigate the possibility of how the Craig Proctor system could work for you to help you, give you more freedom, help you make more money and work less, and truly have the dream life that you want inside of real estate. I want to thank Lee Gariepy. I want to thank Ori. I want to thank Kat for doing an awesome interview here today. Guys, we'll send you a recording of this. Use it how you see fit. And we'll do this again. I'll tell you what, we'll get you back on the rotation, and we'll see how we'll check in the next 6 months, next year. We'll get you back on the Craig Proctor show again and see how you guys are proceeding. So thank you so much for doing this.
And we want to thank you too, Craig. You and all your coaches, that you have a fabulous team. I don't think people realize what goes on behind the scenes. So thank everybody behind the scenes that's doing this stuff, from your coaches to your support staff, because without all them, we couldn't do what we're doing. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. So. All
right. Well, thanks everybody for watching the Craig Proctor Real Estate Show. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, you can get our information in the comments below. Thank you again, and we'll see everybody next time.
All right. Thank you.
Hi, this is Craig Proctor. Hey, I really hope you enjoyed that video. And listen, I've got a lot more information for you to help you grow your real estate business. You see, several times a week, I record new videos and I load them onto this YouTube channel. What I'd like you to do, if you'd like to access them, are two important things, and both are totally free. Number one is I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. You're gonna see a little subscribe button for you to click on. And if you don't already have an account with YouTube, it's free for you to set it up. It's really easy, it's free, but you've got to subscribe to this channel. And the most important thing is to ring the little bell right next to the subscribe button. And that's gonna let you know every time I load new money-making videos to help you grow your real estate business. So make sure you subscribe right now, you ring the little bell, and we'll see you on the next video.